I'm Mark, I'm the watch manager on Red Watch at Ilkeston, and I joined in 1989.
My name's Tim, I've been in the fire service for 15 years.
Hey, hi, I'm Jamie, I'm the crew manager at Ilkeston Red Watch and I've been in about 8 years.
Hi, my name's Lee, I'm at Ilkeston Red Watch, I've been in about 5 years.
Hi, my name's Tom and I've been in the fire service for 6 years.
Okay, RTC, person drive, one person in the car, one vehicle involved. Okay?
Yep.
So on arrival, priority lies with what type of incident it is, and this can be ascertained by talking to people on scene, the police, the ambulance service and any other of our partners that are in attendance at the incident. So we go to my job is as the incident commander to do a 360-degree survey of the scene and ascertain what we can do and how we can help from this point forward and make it as safe as possible. So I carry out a scene assessment, walking around the entire incident as opposed to just looking at it from one place, so it gives me a better overview. At the same time, the rest of the crew are getting together all the tools, getting everything sorted that we may need proceeding with this incident, and the reason being is that we want to make this as time effective as possible. The less time that we take to do all of this means that the casualty is going to spend less time in this situation. So after looking into the car and speaking to the casualty, ensuring that they are conscious, ensuring that they're maintaining the airway, their own airway, we'll form a tactical plan, liaising with the police whether we need any roads closing off, whether we need any anything else from the police or from the ambulance service. Once we've done this, we'll make a decision whether we need to get the casualty out urgently or whether it can be a more controlled extrication, and this is usually determined by the ambulance service talking to us.
Keep looking forward for me. Can you tell me your name?
Yeah, it's Lee.
Lee, what I want you to do is I want you to hold still as possible, okay? I don't want you to move until our colleagues from the ambulance service get here. We're going to get all your vehicle nice and stable and we're going to start assessing you and getting you out of this vehicle in the best way possible, okay?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
If you can just keep looking forward without moving your head in any other direction that it's at, and just shout me up. My name's Mark if you need me at any stage.
Hi, Mark.
Is that okay, Lee?
That's alright, Mark.
Okay,
that's
right.
great.
We're going to get my colleagues just going to come in and make it a little bit safer for you.
Nice one.
Alright, I'll be with you in a second, Lee. Keep looking forward and nice and still for me.
Once I've made contact with the casualty, I brief the crews, and again it's the safety which is paramount to not only the casualty or the partners that's going into the vehicle. So we'll move on to stabilisation of the vehicle. Stabilising the vehicle can be quite tricky dependent on whether it's all on its wheels, whether it's on its roof, on its side, up against a tree, or in any other precarious sort of position. And what we do with that is we've got special items of equipment which we stabilise to minimise the movement for a multitude of reasons. One, it gives us a nice stable working platform both for ourselves and for us colleagues that's entering the vehicle. It also means that there's less movement for the casualty if they've got any type of musculoskeletal or blood loss injury in the vehicle. We carry out this so that we can control as close as possible all of the airbag systems and things like that that sit inside the vehicle to protect the casualty, which are now in a vulnerable state after the accident. We also pop a steering wheel airbag cover over, and that negates that go. Well, if it does go off whilst we're carrying out the extrication, it minimises the travel of the airbag actually activating. So once a plan has been determined, there's two areas in which this is going to sit in. A rapid extrication, which means that we have a certain parameters where an extrication of the casualty inside will need to be as rapid as possible, and that's determined on a multitude of factors, and again liaising with our partners in the ambulance service. If it's not going to be a rapid extrication, we would take a little bit more time and go for a main extrication route, which is a lot more controlled, a lot more sort of user-friendly, if you like, for the casualty and everybody else concerned. However, a rapid extrication route is one of the first things that we'll put in place. As you can see, we opened the door and then tied the door back in this scenario, so that if the ambulance service was at any stage to say we need this person out of the vehicle, or the casualty's health was deteriorating, or if the vehicle was to start to become on fire, although you can see we have the hose reel out, we can actually get this person out. So we put a rapid extrication in place, which also involves managing the glass, because we want to manage the glass, whether it's just opening a door or whether we're actually having to break the glass in a controlled manner. Once we've got this in position, we move on to creating as much space within the vehicle as possible, be that taking furniture out of the vehicle, child seats out of the vehicle, or even moving a chair back, reclining the seat as such, like, just to make as much room in the vehicle, which makes it easier for us to extricate the casualty and for our colleagues again to assess the casualty and continue with the treatment in the vehicle. So now we're focusing on the main extrication route, the full access of the vehicle. This may be quite as simple as actually opening the door, taking a side out, but in this case we decided to remove the roof, and we've taken the roof off the vehicle using a sequence of cuts using our hydraulics, and nice and controlled. We've took the windscreen out, everything. So what we'll do is we've removed the roof off the vehicle, which allows us to actually carry out the final part, which is what we've been striving to achieve throughout, which is the extrication phase of this rescue. So the casualty, we liaised with the casualty throughout, and he was compass mentis, talking to us, and what we would call quite alert. He was able to maintain his own neutral alignment and keep his head straight, and because we had a small amount of crew at the time, if this wasn't possible, we'd have deployed either one of ourselves, or we would have got somebody from the ambulance service to maintain his spinal immobilisation throughout. As you can see from the vehicle before this, and before our crews actually got involved inside the vehicle after the roof was removed, we put sharp covers all over the vehicle. Sharp covers were put onto that to hide any frayed metal, any sharp objects, so that people didn't get caught on the vehicle as they are carrying out the extrication sector.
To each on my corner view. Ready, brace, move. Right, got it. Double
what we did here is we actually put a longboard, which we use as an extrication device, to actually pop it down the back of the casualty, which keeps the casualty nice and straight. Once that's done, we'll lower it down and then bring them out the route 1 of the vehicle out the back, which is the easiest route out. What would happen then is once he's in a safe place, it would then be assessed by the ambulance service yet again, which is continuous. It would then be made available for transport in whichever means and whichever way and method that the ambulance service would decide at that time.
Hands off. Okay, we can work fingers there and shoulder. Okay. On Jamie's call, we'll go as far as we can, and then we'll have to swap over. Anybody not ready? Ready, brace, move. You got him there? Round. Anybody not ready? Ready, brace, move. Ready, brace, move. That's there.